Hello! Today we're going to talk about building a marble run at home. Now, some of the things that you might have around the house are going to be the most useful things for doing this. This is a good time of year to find tubes, so gift wrapping tubes, paper towel tubes, toilet paper tubes. Those are great things to use when you're making a marble run. You'll need something to construct the marble run on. Inside the lid of a box is really good place to do that if you aren't building a really big one. A large piece of cardboard, maybe you just got some packages from Amazon, find some big cardboard, or maybe you even have some small thin wood in your house. This is something to build on as well. Whatever you're going to build on needs to be kind of solid and rigid. You can't do it on a piece of poster board because it'd be too flimsy. So we need something that's going to be strong. The other thing you could do is ask an adult in your house if it's okay to tape things to the wall, but don't tape anything to the wall without permission first. That makes a good solid place, and you can build a really big marble run if you build it on the wall. Some of the other things you're going to need are a cup to catch your marbles when they come to the end, because part of the challenge is the fact that the marbles have to land in the cup, and you don't want to have to chase them all over the floor. You're obviously going to need marbles. Now, if you don't have marbles, you could use a super ball or something about this size, anything round and small. But marbles work the best because then you don't have to build everything so big. A good kind of tape, duct tape's good, masking tape's good. This is painter's tape. You might find some of this laying around the house. You can use Scotch tape. You usually have to just use more because it's just not as strong as these tapes. And something else that you could use would be glue, but only if you're using it on cardboard. And remember, if you use glue, you're going to have to make sure that you let it dry good. You would probably have to build your marble run laying down flat, let it dry good before you stood it up. But glue's kind of hard, so I don't really recommend that. And then something else you'll need is some kind of paper. Now, I have construction paper here. You could use typing paper, or you could use newspaper. When you use typing paper and newspaper, one of the things you have to remember is they're not very strong. They're kind of flimsy. They want to fall all over the place. One of the things you can do when you're using a paper that is not as strong as construction paper is to fold it over in half and to fold it again. And now it's very, very strong. So when you make your ramp, it'll hold up better instead of being flimsy. So that's something to consider. Now let's talk about the different kinds of ramps. Of course, we talked about using our tubes, but construction paper, you can fold a V like this to use as a ramp that lets the marble run down through it. Let's just look at that real quick. See if I can get a marble out of here and roll it into my cup. So I could use this as a ramp. Now you see I have to make sure that this isn't so tight together that my marble won't go through that. So when you're taping these things to your surface, make sure that you have enough room for your marble to make it through, okay? The other way you could make is, if you don't have tubes, is just use your tape paper and roll up a tube. So you could roll up a tube just like this, and then tape it together, tape it to your surface, and make sure that it's big enough that your marble can go through, okay? Now, one of the things that you don't want to happen is what you just saw. When you're building your marble run, at the end you have to catch it in a cup. Make sure that it hits the cup. If it bounces out, it doesn't count. So if it was bouncing out, if I had my tube at this angle and it bounced out, one of the things I could do is put less of an angle on my tube to make it not travel as fast through my tube, and it would probably not bounce out of my cup. So that is a video on some of the things that you can use to make your marble run. I'm actually going to put a quick one together and I'll add it to the end of this video. Good luck and have fun. Okay, here's my marble run. Whoops, my cup moved. Now, one thing I would have to consider if I was having to time my run, then I would have to adjust this. So mine ran pretty quick, but if your teacher is telling you you have a specific time frame that you need to run in, say 6 seconds, 8 seconds, think about how you would adjust this in order to make the marble run longer through the maze. Now, you could do a couple of things, right? You could add more features, you could put more track in here, or you could adjust the height of the track so that the marble rolls slower. Or maybe you could add something that creates friction to slow the marble down. Those are all things to consider when you're making your marble run at home. Have fun with this project. We'll see you soon.